Welcome to a Sunday second video. Firstly, Somalia, where PM Hamza Abdi Bare's cabinet has been approved by the parliament. His cabinet got record votes at the parliament in voting today. Secondly, President Hassan Sheikh today received invitation from Qatar's ambassador to Somalia to visit Qatar today. So, in coming days, he could visit Qatar. People say, Sajid, you unfairly criticized Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud for his foreign visits. He's visiting other countries. The countries are announcing aid for Somalia. So he is bringing much needed money in Somalia. I'll address this point made by some viewers. Secondly, Somaliland viewers, we have been reporting about ongoing political stalemate between the opposition parties and ruling party of Musibah Abdi. Opposition parties tried to protest a few weeks ago rather, but their main leaders were arrested. They were put in prison. Police used force. There were talks did not succeed. Now once again, opposition parties today shared a letter with Ministry of Interior of Somaliland. Opposition parties are going to protest in coming week. Thirdly, viewers, a follow-up, an update on the arrest of a commander of Oromo Liberation Army. I have received so many messages. People say Sajid Jal Mohammed Ame is not an OLA commander. Picture is old. He was arrested several years ago. Then he was put in prison. He was released. Today, government shared more information about Jal Mohammed Ame's arrest. South Zone OLA commander reportedly. Though the information which government has shared and pictures as well has raised some questions. Was Jal Ame active now when he was arrested as an OLA commander? And lastly, viewers, in the previous video I shared with you a new story about an internal document of African Union. African Union wants Eritrea to be part of Tigray, Ethiopia peace talks. Obasanjo is recommending that Eritrea should be officially invited to be part of this peace process. What is Tigray government's position? Though so far no official statement has been issued by Tigray regional government, but we got in touch with some people close to Tigray regional government. So we have their likely position for you. If Eritrea is invited, what will Tigray regional government do? Will it be part of talks or not? What we have learnt, we'll share with you. Firstly, your Somalia, Hamza Abdi Bare's 75-member cabinet was put to vote today and his cabinet has been approved. The cabinet got record votes. 229 MPs voted in support of this cabinet. Only 7 voted against it and 1 abstained from voting. Highest number of votes gained by any cabinet in recent years. We were hearing rumored speculations, even some written statements were released by some MPs in Gulmudug and Jubaland that they had concerns, they had questions about the selection of ministers of the new cabinet. But the new cabinet has been approved with overwhelming majority, which is a very positive development. This cabinet now should work for eradicating drought and instability in the country. Hassan Sheikh was seen today in Mogadishu holding a meeting with religious scholars. Religious scholars can play a key role in countering religious extremism in Somalia. Of course, Al-Shabaab recruits people and Al-Shabaab uses religious ideology, extremist ideology, to influence the minds and hearts of people. So religious scholars can play a key role, and today a meeting was held between Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud and religious scholar Erbil Somalia. And thirdly, viewers, while Somalia's parliament was voting to approve the new cabinet, even then mortars were fired around Villa Somalia. Several mortars were fired and one person was killed and 7 were injured in this mortar fire. So you see that Al-Shabaab has tremendous reach across Somalia. It can conduct an attack wherever it wants to attack. Around Villa Somalia, Halane camp, everywhere Al-Shabaab has conducted attacks in recent weeks. Meanwhile, viewers, Somalia's president has received an invitation to visit Qatar. Today, Qatar's ambassador to Somalia, Hassan bin Hamza, extended this invitation to Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud from Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, who is Qatar's Amir. So it means that Hassan Sheikh could travel to Qatar in coming days. Before that, he is likely to visit Uganda. Now, let me address the question. People say, Sajid, why do you criticize Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud if he is visiting foreign countries? The countries announce aid for Somalia, much needed aid. Why are you against his foreign travels? Well, aid always comes with conditions. No one gives you anything for free. If countries are giving aid to Somalia, they'll have some preconditions, some conditions after the delivery of aid. It means their influence in Somalia will increase. Internal unity could be jeopardized. So my position is that Hassan Sheikh should focus on internal unity, to unite the country against internal insurgency, which is a threat to the government as well. Hassan Sheikh's government is a very weak government. It has no control over entire Somalia. Regional states are making a decision independently. Al-Shabaab is gaining power, so it's not that he just needs support of Qatar, Turkey, UAE, US to counter this insurgency. No, he needs internal unity first. So that is why I think that he should focus on internal issues more than external issues. Secondly, we are Somaliland, self-declared country in the Horn of Africa. Somalia says it's part of Somalia, unrecognized by most countries of the world. The country is in the grip of a political stalemate. In November, presidential election is due to be held, and earlier elections, transfer of power in the past in Somaliland was largely peaceful, but this time tensions continuing for months. Two opposition parties, UCID and Wadani, are accusing Musibay, the president of Somaliland, head of Kalmiye party, that he is not interested in free, fair and transparent presidential election. A few weeks ago, opposition parties protested in Hargeisa and their main leaders were arrested. They were put in prison. Police used force. Some MPs were injured too. Later, talks were held. Talks failed. Now, once again, UCID and Wadani are going to protest because talks have failed. There is stalemate over registration of new political parties, over constitution of electoral commission. The two parties, UCID and Wadani, today submitted a letter to Ministry of Interior of Somaliland This letter contains the schedule of protests to be carried out by UCID and Wadani. When will the protest be held? Where will it be held? The two parties will hold demonstrations on a Thursday, on the 11th of August. Next week, the two parties will protest in six regions of Somaliland. So it means that no progress has been made in talks held between opposition and government a few days ago. And secondly, what will the Ministry of Interior do now? Last time, when the two parties submitted a schedule of protests to Ministry of Interior, it rejected the schedule, it deployed police, it used force against two parties. What will Ministry of Interior do now? Will it allow this protest to go ahead, or will it try to stop it by deploying forces? That remains to be seen. Now, a serious situation is developing. This stalemate is becoming deeper with every passing day. No breakthrough so far. Update you in coming days about this protest. There could be a crackdown on UCID, Wadani party leaders before this protest as well. Before Thursday, it could happen. Thirdly, words. 2 days ago, I shared with you pictures of an OLA commander from South Zone who has been arrested. People said, Saj, it's an old picture. This man is no more commander of OLA. He was a commander of OLA, but then he was put in prison and he remained in prison. It's an old picture. Today, government shared more information about the arrest of this commander. Yes, the picture is old. We have confirmed that the picture which I showed you is old. Have a look at this picture. This one was shared by some pro-government news sources. It's an old picture. But today, government shared details about the arrest of this commander. He has been arrested. His name is Jal Muhammad Ame, and he was arrested in Muyale, Burana Zone, Muyale, Wareda, Makola is the name of the place where he was traveling in a car, and the car, the driver and Jal Muhammad Ame have been arrested, and he was traveling with a new name. Abdu Umar Hussain is the new name of this commander. On his new ID card, this new name was written, and the vehicle was stopped. Security forces had some advanced intelligence information. They arrested him. You can see the pictures on your screen. Jal Muhammad Ame, whose new name is Abdu Umar Hussain, can be seen. The car can also be seen in which he was traveling. Now, does he look like an OLA commander? Is there any possibility that he abandoned this group some months ago, some years ago, and now he was leading an ordinary life, but he has been arrested because he was a member of OLA, a commander of OLA in the past. Because OLA commanders, we have not seen them travel in this fashion with drivers in cars without any weapons. So far, government has not shown the recovery of any weapons. If he is an OLA commander and he is leading South Front, can you imagine that he would be traveling in a car without any weapons and with just one driver? So government's story has some loopholes. It seems that Jal Muhammad Ame, he might have abandoned armed struggle, or he was connected with OLA in some other role, not in combat role. We're waiting for more details about Jal Muhammad Ame. We'll update you, but his arrest has been confirmed. Lastly, viewers, African Union is recommending Eritrean inclusion in Tigray, Ethiopia peace talks. What is Tigray government's position? No official statement so far because African Union has not released an official statement. Just an internal document was leaked showing showing mention of this thing that Eritrea should be officially invited to be part of Tigray Ethiopia talks. So since African Union has not released any official statement, that is why Tigray regional government is silent. No statement from Tigray regional government. But what if it happens? What if Addis Ababa based African Union writes a letter to Eritrea to invite Eritrea to be part of Tigray Ethiopia peace talks? What will Tigray do? We got in touch with some people close to the government of Tigray. They say it's almost impossible for the government of Tigray, TPLF-led government of Tigray, to sit with Eritrea. They say it would be a political suicide for TPLF. TPLF is already under pressure. And when TPLF-led Tigray government decided to talk with Ethiopian federal government of PM Abiy, even back then there was a severe criticism against Tigray government. Tigray diaspora, Tigray opposition parties, Tigray people, they were against this process of talks. They want resumption of basic services. They want Western Tigray. So practically it won't be possible for Tigray regional government to sit with Eritrea directly, especially. There could be some indirect mechanism with African Union talking to Eritrean government. If Tigray government makes a decision to sit with Eritrea, there could be serious problems for Tigray regional government in Tigray. So that is what we were told by some people close to Tigray regional government. What is my opinion? It's difficult for Tigray government to sit with Eritrea, but how will the conflict between Tigray and Eritrea come to an end? If they keep on fighting, a new war starts. What will happen in the end? In the end, they'll have to talk. So why not now? Tigray regional government will have to prepare the ground if it had to become part of talks with Eritrea. It cannot make this decision suddenly. It will lead to a serious backlash against the government in Tigray. Thank you for watching.